Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. In today's class, we'll be making a corporate gown with a pleated neckline. If this sounds like what you want to learn, keep on watching and let's go. So this is the fabric we'll be using for this class. So I will be drafting my pattern, my front with pattern paper before we go to the back. The back I'm not using pattern. I will be using the main fabric for the back. So let's get started, guys. So this is me, guys. I'm rolling out a starting line, and this line now will serve as my shoulder line. So after that, guys, I will just do some calculation for our chest line for beginners. Okay, so to get your chest line is to divide your bust measurement by divided by 6. Like me, my bust measurement is 36. I divided it by 6 and I have 6 inches. Then I will add 1 inches to that 6 inches, 1.5 inches to that 6 inches, making it 7.5 inches. Okay, you can see that on the screen. So for a beginner, you can just do this calculation and you will have a perfect chest line, also known as armhole. Okay, so now the first thing we'll be doing is to divide our shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement is 14. Then when I divide it into 2, I will have 7 inches. So I will place my 7 inches from the center front like this. So now this is my 7 inches. So now the next step here is to mark my neckline. So I'm using a basic neckline, which is 3 inches. I'm using 3 inches for the weight. I'm sorry that you cannot see it clearly. And for the depth of the neckline, I'm also using 3 inches. This is just the basic neckline. Okay, so after that, now I will just go ahead to use my curve ruler to rule it straight, curve like this. Okay, I will just rule it like so to give us that curving neckline. So you can see how curvy it is now. So the next step now is from this line here, I will come down by 1 inches, and this is called the shoulder slope, because when you look at our shoulder, they are not equal, so you need to slope it down. So I will now connect the 1 inches to meet the neckline like this. So guys, that is it. You remember we make a calculation for our chest line and we arrive at 7.5 inches. Now we are going to make use of that 7.5 inches. We start our measurement from the shoulder slope down to 7.5 inches here. So after marking my 7.5 inches, I will just make a notch there like so to identify that part. Then now the next step now is to, at that part we mark that 7.5 inches, I will just roll it up so that that part will be my chest line. Okay, I'm just trying to explain these parts in detail so that a beginner will understand. Okay, so now you can see me have identified that part as chest line. So now I will mark my shoulder measurements at this part for me to have a straight line to the top. I don't know if you understand. You can see. So the reason why I mark my shoulder measurement for me to have a straight line like so. So now I will just connect these two lines together as a straight line. So after that, I'm going to mark my bust point line, which is 10 inches, and the waist I'm using 16 inches, and under bust 13 inches. So guys, this is me rolling them up. So guys, after ruling, I will just go ahead to identify the line. Here is my bust point line, here is my under bust, and here is the waistline, which also known as half length. Okay, Now the next step we'll be making is to divide our bust measurement by 4. So my bust measurement is 36, and when I divide it, I will have 9. So I will just place my 9 inches there. So now you can come back to this chest line here. We're going to measure from here to this up part like this, and to look for the midpoints. After getting the midpoint, I will come in by 0.5 inches for me to create my armhole. Just connect those 3 lines together by using my curve ruler like this. Just place the curve ruler in such a way that it will meet this point that we are about to connect, okay? So guys, this is how it comes out. You can see the armhole is well curved now. So now the next step is to divide our nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 3.5. So I'm going to place my 3.5 at the waist area. I will just begin to mark it up to the bust region, and I will connect my lines together. So now this is my bust to nipple to nipple measurement. So for the nipple to nipple measurements line, I will just mark my dart, which is 0.75 on both sides. Then after that, I'll just go ahead to connect it to the bust point like so. So now we have taken our dart. So now the next step is to take our measurements, okay? So we've already taken our bust measurement, so we're going to measure my waist, as in take my waist measurement. My waist measurement is 30, so when I divide by 4, I will have 3 points. I will have 7.5, okay? So I will just place my 7.5 there. After that, I will replace my dart, which is 1.5 inches. Please always replace your dart, okay? Then I will connect my lines like so. So guys, that is it. So the next step now is just to take our bust dart, okay? Because the front length and the back, they are not equal. So we are going to take our bust dart by marking 2 inches from the bust point, okay? I'll mark 2 inches from the bust point down, just what you see me doing now. Then after that, I will just connect it to meet the bust. Note that all that will meet at the bust line, okay? They will meet at the bust line. So you can see my dart, so you can see I'm shading it out to be sure that this part is no longer needed. We are going to cut it off later, okay? So now the next step, let's go to the business of today, which is the pleated neckline, okay? So we are going to do some dart manipulation here. So firstly, take we are going to transfer all our darts to the neck, because you can transfer your darts to your waistline. You can also transfer your darts to your armhole. It depends on where you want. That is called dart manipulation, okay? So first thing, before we transfer our darts, I will mark half an inch from the center front of the neckline. I mark half an inch. Then I will now slope it, like I will make it in the V line. I will just slope it like this, okay, to meet the under bust, okay? I will slope it to meet the under bust. Then I will use my ruler to connect it. You can see that I am connecting the half inches to meet the under bust. So from that half inches, I will mark 1 inches. From this half inches here, I will just go in by 1 inches again, okay? Then I will connect this very one to meet the bust point, because I want to transfer my dart to the neckline. Okay, so I will just connect it like so. Okay, so that is it. So now it's time for us to transfer our dart. First of all, we are going to close our bust dart. I'm going to open one of the dart, like I will open the waist dart to close the bust dart. Okay, because you must open one dart before you close the other darts. That is the dart manipulation we are talking about. Okay, so just watch me out. So guys, this is me trying to close my bust dart. I open up the waist dart to close the bust dart. We use my masking tape to hold it down and correspond this line here together. So you can see I am cutting out the darts. After that, now I will just go ahead to cut out my main pattern. So after cutting the main pattern, we are going to do the dart manipulation. Okay, so now I will cut out this one half an inch we come in by. We will replace it later, guys, don't worry, we are going to replace it. Okay, so now we want to transfer that dart to the neck. So we are going to open this line here from the neckline. We are going to open it up like this and stop close to the bust. Remember, all that must correspond to the bust, as they will meet the bust. Now I'm going to use my masking tape to just try to close these darts. Okay, just close it. Now all the old darts, they are transferred to the neckline. Okay, you do this part very careful so that you will not end up cutting it out. Just make sure you place it and handle it very well and very gently. So you can see me, I'm doing it very carefully so that it will stay very well. So we are doing this because for the purpose of the style we are making. Okay, how to achieve this part, the style that we are making, we are just doing it. Okay, so now after closing my waist dart, you can see that all the darts, they are at the neckline. So what we will do is to bring out another pattern paper. Okay, we are going to bring out another pattern paper. Then we'll place this part, the first one, on top of the fresh pattern paper. For this center front, remember we reduce half an inch from the neckline, so we are going to replace it back and add extra 1/2 inch to it, making it 1 inches. Because for the style, you can see that the front, as in they hold it, you need to give that space, that allowance for that holding part. You need to give it for the center. So I cut it in a way that it's the reason why I first of all reduce 1 inches is because of the slant. Okay, so that the allowance will not get to reach the down part. That is why we slanted it. We minus half an inch at the first for the neckline at first to slant it as a V neckline. So we are going to replace it back by using this pattern, this fresh pattern. Okay, so I will add that half an inch that I cut out, that half an inch that I cut out. This is the half an inch that I'm marking now, that half an inch that we cut at that other time. So I will add another half an inch, making it 1 inches. I don't know if you understand. So I will just blend it in a curved way so that the neckline will remain the same. I don't know if you understand what I am saying. You can see the half an inch we minus, I have replaced it and I added another half an inch, making it 1 inches. So the half an inch will be the one that we will hold as the pleats for the neckline. That is will be the allowance, while the remaining half an inch is the one that we took off that time. So we have replaced it. So now for this other side now, remember there are 3 pleats at this neckline. So for this other parts, we will just measure one, give a space of 1 inches. Okay, just give a space of 1 inches tape to hold it down. Okay, and this 1 inches that you give, it will be for the plating. Okay, be for the plating, the allowance of the plating, so that when after plating your front, your neckline, it will affect your normal measurement. It will not affect it at all. So that is the reason why we are doing this. Let me say this, giving this allowance, so that we will have allowance to hold. Okay, so after that, we just go ahead to curve it in a curvy way, using our French curve to just curve this part so that the neckline will be so round. Okay, even after we plait it. So now after doing that, we are going to cut out the pattern. Okay, ensure that you hold your pattern with your masking tape so that it will not be moving here and there. Okay, so after cutting, this is how it looks like. So we are going to transfer to our main fabric. So guys, we've transferred to our main fabric. What we will do is to notch the part that we will hold later. We are just going to notch this so that when we want to hold it, it will not look very difficult for us. We are just going to notch that part that we are going to notch. You can see this 1 inch is here. We are going to notch it on the both sides like this. While the center front, the ½ inches, we notched it as well. So guys, this is the back. I draw out a straight line. Then the back neckline, the back length is 14. Remember the front is 16. So the back will be 14. So I will just mark it, and this back is very simple. It does not really have too many drama on it. All the drama is for the front. So the front have all the styles, but the back is just normal basic back. Okay, so just free draw your, or draft your basic body back, or how would I put it? So this is me marking my zipper allowance by 1 inches. So I will just mark my zipper allowance of 1 inches down. So after marking, I will just go ahead to roll up all the dots. So after that, now this is my measurements. So this is me marking my shoulder. I take 1 inches for the depth of my neck and 3 inches for the width. Remember, the width of the back and the front must correspond. So I mark down my shoulder slope, and I'm marking my chest line, and I just connect it like so, just what we did to the front. I divide my bust measurement, and I added my seam allowance to the back since we are using the direct fabric. So I connected my armhole, doing my back, my waistline. So I don't normally add that for my back. So that is it, guys. So I will just go ahead now, pin it first before I will cut out my pattern. So this is how it looks like after cutting. Let's work with the down part. So for the front of the down part, we are going to use a pattern paper based on the style that is involved. So now, first thing, I'm going to take my length of the full gown. I will minus 16 inches from the full length, meaning from the top. We've already worked with the top. I will minus the 16 length. So this is me marking my hip line. So after marking my hip line, I will divide my waist measurement and add 1.5 inches for my seam allowance and place it at the waistline. So coming to the hip line, I will divide my hip measurement by 4 and add my seam allowance as well, 1.5 inches. So for the down part, I will minus 1.5 inches from the total of my hip measurement plus the allowance, then I will mark it there. So after that, I will just connect my lines like so. I will connect it just the way you see me doing. But I noticed that this part here is too curving. Then I just go ahead to use my straight ruler to just blend this part that is curving. Okay, so this other first line is no longer needed. You can see me cancelling it, so we are not making use of that part anymore. So guys, that is it. I'm just blending this sharp edge at this hip part because we don't need anything sharp there, so that it to avoid any sharp points or sharp edge, so we don't need it. Okay, so blend it if you have any. Please note that it must be on fold. Okay, your pattern paper must be on fold because of the style that we want to do. So now, for before we cut out our pattern, we are going to minus 1 inches from the center front. The reason why I am minusing 1 inches is to eliminate any foldness at the front. You understand? Maybe you, after putting on your dress, you will notice that the front is folding somehow. So for you to eliminate that part, just minus 1 inches from it, and you won't see that fold part anymore. Okay, you can see me minusing 1 inches from my actual center front. Then I cut it off. Now I am cutting out my pattern. So guys, you can see me cutting my pattern. So after cutting on my pattern, this is how it is. Then I will open it up like this. Remember I said the pattern paper must be on fold. You must fold it into two like this because of the style that we want to recreate. Okay, so if you look at the picture very well, you will see that they have some stylish style. How will I put it? You will see it there. So now what we'll do is from the because me I'm using from the hip line. Okay, from the hip, so I take from the waist down to my 8 inches, which is my hip line. So after taking it 8 inches, you can see I place, after I will just make a slant, like I will create a kind of curve like this to the other side. I ensure that it will pass the middle. Okay, the center, just you can see that the center is identified there, so ensure that it passes the middle there. Just make it a straight line like so. Okay, you can see me curving it, just as a straight. You can see me curving it, curve it like this. Okay, because when you see the style, you will see that the style, it has some design at the down part, so we are trying to recreate this design here. So this is me curving this part. So after curving, I will go ahead to cut it out. So after cutting this, it stays, you can see. So I will just take it and transfer to my fabric. So guys, I have transferred to my main fabric, and you can see that I added half an inch on this part, just this part. You remember we have already had our seam allowance before, so I did the same thing to the other part. I added half an inch as well. So after that, we are going to take this part off first. We are going to take it aside first, and let's work with the upper part. So this is the upper part. I have transferred my pattern to my fabric, so I go ahead to cut out facing as well. You can see, so this is facing. I also weave it. I use my weaving machine to lock the edge. Go ahead to do the same. So I will take it to my sewing machine and run a stitch by half an inch, right side meeting right side. I will do the same thing to the back as well. So guys, here it comes. I have attached the facing and the main fabric together. So guys, remember we notched the part that we will hold, we will plait. Okay, remember we notched it. So after joining these two, this thing did not get to reach it down, so I will use my chalk now to just to trace it. Okay, I will use my chalk. I will just hold the part that I notched like this. I will first of all trace it at the wrong side before I will just find a way to trace it to the right side so that I can able to hold it. I don't know if you understand. Please just watch me carefully. You will understand what I'm trying to say. This part that I shock is the part that we will hold, that we will plait at the front. So I just shock it so that it will make me to know where to join, as in to hold together. So you can see me that I am transferring the the shock to the right side. I hold the shock at the wrong side to mark the right side. Okay, so this part that I am marking now is the part that we will hold for the style line. Okay, is the part that we will hold for the style line. So you can see me just making sure I will not make any mistake, because we first of all notched it using our pattern to notch it on our main fabric so that we can know where to, or the allowance that we give to plait at the start, at the front. I don't know if you understand. So since I have joined the facing and the main fabric together and the notched, we've closed it. So for me to get it, I just trace it from the wrong side and I am tracing it to the right side. Okay, so you can see I have traced it, and this part here are the parts that we will hold. Okay, so now I will just take it to my sewing machine. Now first of all, I will first of all iron it straight. So after ironing it, I will hold it. Okay, I will iron it. And so guys, like I said that I will iron it. This is how it looks like after ironing, and this shock is stayed there. You can see the shock there, right? So now it's time for us to print our front, which is the style of the day. So I also do the same thing to the back as well. You can see I have added my facing and I ironed it well. So guys, so firstly, the first print we are going to take is just hold it like this, the center, and ensure that the center meets the bust point. Okay, we meet the bust, which is the bust line. That is where the side will be. You will hold the side down from the neckline down to the bust point line. That is how we draft it earlier. If you are confused, go back to your pattern and look at it very carefully. You will see what we are doing. Just watch it and you will understand. Okay, so this is it. I've pinned it. This is the center, and the center we sew it from the neckline down to the under bust. That is how we draft it, right? So we just keep on doing it like that. For the other side, we hold it from the neck down to the bust points. Okay, it's only the center that you will hold down to your under bust. Okay, when I'm through, I will come back to show you how it looks like. So guys, you can see I have joined it, I have sewed it, and you can see the middle is at the under bust, while the other two side is at the bust point exactly. So now guys, it's time for us to join. I ironed it very well as well. So it's time for us to join our shoulder. Just take your back shoulder and your front shoulder and join together. So I have joined my shoulder together, and this is how it looks like. So the next step is to bring out the down parts. Then this is the down part. I remove my pattern and I will use bias tape to hold the rough edges, to turn off the rough edges. So guys, this is what I'm trying to say. I have turned off the rough edges with my bias tape. Then I will bring out the other part like this, and I will remove the pattern paper. Then after I remove the pattern paper, I will place it under the first one. I don't know if you understand. Just place in the right way. Okay, then I will go ahead to stitch the first one on top of it like this. I will to stitch it like so. Okay, so this is how it is. I have to stitched it, and I also went ahead to fold the down part as well. So I did the same thing to the back as well. I've already do my back, and I hold that for the back. Okay, I also do the down part as well. So the next step is to join our upper part to the down part. I'll just take it to my sewing machine and sew. So guys, you can see I have sewed it, and this is how it says I have sewed the other part, and the next step is to join the two sides together. Just place the two back together, right side facing right side. Then I will mark where my zipper will accommodate. So you can see I marked where my zipper will accommodate like this. So from that part I will mark my zipper allowance, which is 1 inches. I will just mark 1 inches. So from before I will mark 1 inches down, I will take my slits. So I mark 6 inches from the down to 6 inches. So I continue my 1 inches like this to the where I mark where my zip will stop. Okay, so this is where I will stitch. I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch. So guys, I've done. So I went ahead to add my sleeve, although this is not this kind of sleeve that I saw in the poster that I'm trying to recreate. But if you don't like this sleeve, you can do it to use long sleeve, because me, I don't really like long sleeve like that. I just use cup sleeve, and I went ahead to piping the space that is there. So this is a cup sleeve. So I think I will make a tutorial on how to make a cup sleeve. Okay, so I just decided to use a cup sleeve on this very particular one. So guys, if you don't like this cup sleeve, go ahead to use your long sleeve. It's still fine, because the thumbnail is it has a long sleeve there, but I don't really like long sleeve. That is why I am using a cup sleeve. Okay, so guys, the next step is to add my zipper. This zipper is invisible zip. Okay, is invisible zip. I'll just go ahead to sew it and come back to show you how it looks like. So guys, this is how it stays. You can see it, like I said, is invisible zip. You don't see it. It's very neat. You can see I sew it a very neat way. You can see I open it up now, and I will still close it, and this is how beautiful it comes out. Okay, so it's time for us to close the back and the front together. So guys, I've closed it and it's ready to wear. So let's see the art. Wow, yes, the final look of the gown. You can see it's, I rock it, so beautiful, and I love the outcome. Guys, if you enjoyed this video and it's very helpful to you, give it a huge thumbs up. And if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also turn on the notification bell for more video like this. Bye, to see you in my next video.